Welcome to the latest episode of the Infinite Medium Podcast, and we're going to go over not only more of The Rogue Trader by Owlcat Games, which if you're familiar with Owlcat Games, they made Pathfinder, Kingmaker, and Wrath of the Righteous. We're also going to talk about Starfield as well, because that's the next big game that's coming up. And now I'm able to play Age of Wonders 4 because I'm using NVIDIA GeForce now. I will go over my experience with NVIDIA GeForce now because I have some things to say about that. And I have some things to say about Age of Wonders 4 too. I have things to say about a lot of things. But anyway, we're just going to go ahead. I have a video for us to watch. It's a dev diary. I'm really getting into these dev diaries. The dev diaries are very interesting. I don't have any anime or book news for you this week as of now. So let's start into the video. This dev diary to meet the rogue traders. They're going to tell us some things about these rogue traders. And we're going to play as a rogue trader. And rogue trader are basically they're not vigilantes. They're basically pirates. Think One Piece. And that's what you're. They're not necessarily good. You don't necessarily have to be evil or bad. You can be a good rogue trader. You're pretty much a One Piece pirate. From what I understand, I haven't watched this video.
Many on our team are Warhammer 40k fans.
I'm not a Warhammer 48k fan. I'm going to just say that. I'm not familiar with the series, but this will be a excellent entry to the series. And our dream of
making an engaging classic RPG in that universe goes back a long way.
I'm sure.
We want to let players experience the Warhammer 40k universe in all its diversity.
That's nice.
In our game there will be a time for war, but also a time for travel, discovery, scheming, and much, much more.
Okay.
The game is set in the Coronis Expanse. It is situated away from the Imperium's billion-strong armies and its mighty fleets.
I want y'all to think about that in the future. Billion strong. An army of a billion. That's what happens when you're a multi-planetary species. I just wanted to point that out since Elon is talking about multi-planetary species and stuff like that. And of course, I'm bringing up Elon because anyone in the social media space will use Twitter or understand Twitter because as a platform, I need to work on my Twitter, but anyway, I'm talking too much. Let's continue the video.
In this underexplored and perilous region, young colonies founded by fearless pioneers coexist with ancient worlds whose inhabitants have long forgotten the light of the Emperor.
It's typical. The design looks like
is
pretty much Kingmaker.
Xenos. And yet more terrifying and dangerous monsters who won't hesitate to destroy trespassers.
Okay, that's nice. Now, I will use this opportunity to talk about Kingmaker since this is another game. But Rogue Trader is another game by Owlcat Games. Now, I feel like they dropped the ball at I don't know if it's the last area, but close to the end. Usually things happen like when it comes to finish a story. It's like a lot of time. I'm not going to even say a lot of times. There are some instances where the finishing is not good enough. It's just like they can't wrap it up. My issue with Pathfinder Kingmaker now is because now I'm in the House of the Edge of Time and I've encountered some glitches, some scenarios and stuff like that, where the first one was with this troll thing after I was able to get a Kundio back, is that the troll didn't die by acid, didn't die by fire. I had to use a he didn't even die by negative energy. I had to use Hellfire Way. Now, what if I didn't have Hellfire Ray? Because I'm pretty sure none of my other creatures, or not a party of martial characters would have had Hellfire Way. So I did some research out of game after I finished that video. And there might be a difference between having the lantern on and lantern off and how that interacts with the creatures. So for my next the next video I'll create, when I continue, I'm going to turn the lantern off and see if that changes things. And if it doesn't, then that's a big issue, because if that was one creature, killing them with a specific spell. Now the next issue is that what if there's a lot of creatures, like in the area where I found a bunch of Wild Hunt, and you know the Wild Hunt, they have ridiculously high AC and touch AC and saves and all that stuff, just crazy. With a Wild Hunt Monarch, and they all can't just be killed, you have to use a specific damage type, you can't coup de grace, it's like, that's crazy. So I might have to just move on, because at that point it's just unplayable. Sure, I could just go back, run away, kill these, and it's like, I'm not about to do that. It just takes the fun out the game. It's possible, but it's like, at least have it on there, because the troll didn't have that, oh, it can only be killed by this damage type in the description. It didn't have it blurred out or anything. At least just have it where you need a DC check. But I passed my DC. I should know these things. But anyway, that's my gripe. I'll find out. It would be really unfortunate if that's the case, because I have enjoyed my time and I don't like to leave games unfinished. But I'm just going to use it as a testament. Hopefully in Rogue Trader they don't have any issues. They actually make things make sense. But let's continue.
Rogue traders stand out in unique ways among other Imperial subjects. These extraordinary men and
of course
women
they have this crazy looking character.
Unlimited rights and privileges. They wander the stars, rediscover long-forgotten civilizations, conquer planets, and establish colonies.
What? They conquer planets? So they might not be pirates. They might just be like special enforcers or something. I don't know.
Our game's protagonist belongs to this rare breed. A rogue trader can choose their own path and mission, but no matter what endeavor they embark on, they know they'll be risking their life and sanity, and that overcoming such treacherous circumstances will require all the resources and Imperial authority granted by their warrant of trade.
Okay, so they do have a leader.
This will open any door for its holder and affords them a number of exclusive privileges. A rogue trader's duty is to explore the darkness beyond
you
the
can't,
Imperium's
for all of my podcast listeners and watchers, you can't see. I just want to point out they have like, they go from like the video game stuff, and then they have like some cartoon scenes. So I don't know if they're going to have a cartoon type that goes with this, or there was already a cartoon version of Warhammer 40k, and they're just showing clips of that they used for inspiration. Maybe.
Blaze trails to worlds unknown and expand humanity's domain, making new discoveries, ruling over entire worlds, solving ancient mysteries, and hunting for long-lost treasure.
Okay, so it seems like they might go the Kingmaker route, take some aspects of that, just make it more sci-fi. You can have your own kingdom, but galactic kingdom.
It may do, for the sake of both their own enrichment and the Imperium's prosperity. A rogue trader's military might lies in their void ship, a gargantuan space fortress.
Oh, you're not seeing this, but if you're watching the video, you can see this. But like, I'm trying to relate this to something. I thought when they said void ship, I thought they were talking about these little spaceships right there, but then they're zooming out and moving. No, they're talking about this. This is definitely gargantuan. Think Halo. How do I say it? Because you know Halo, they have the spaceships, the Banshees, and all that stuff. But on the Covenant side, then they have these super big, like, I don't know, colonizer type thing where that's their worship, where all the banshees, the wraiths, the other bigger things that's like right above the banshees. I don't remember what they're called. That's what this is. Or on the UNSC side, they're big carrier ships. If you know Halo, you've seen it. But anyway, it's just okay. It's good. Think Death Star, but more rectangular and longer. Yeah, you should know that. You should know about Star Wars.
Among whose number are future colonists tasked with founding settlements on new worlds. The Void Ship is at the core of the freedoms enjoyed by a rogue trader. They are exploring remote planets that emit strange radiation, waging an interstellar war on pirates, or defying impossible odds to reach further into the Coronis expanse.
Okay, so they're not pirates.
Flying through the warp is an immeasurable risk in itself, and our protagonist will feel this precarity as viscerally as their crew. Xenos are a different type of encounter that the rogue trader will have to contend with on their journeys. Dangerous and inscrutable. Some of them are sentient non-humans.
Okay, now they're showing different creature types.
Their detestable, unconscionable interests. However, the darkness beyond the Imperium holds more than just material threats. Far removed from the Empire's light, the Coronis expanse is a hotbed of sin and decay.
Okay,
that can
like the
seduce
Stolen
even
Lands.
the most steadfast of hearts. Not every rogue trader has it in them to resist these temptations. Without this, it implies the Chaos Gods will be the new master regardless.
Okay, Chaos Gods, that's Warhammer
Of
stuff.
the unthinkable things you will encounter as a rogue trader. We will show you more soon, Lord Captain. Until next time.
Okay, it was good. Now, this is the one big thing I'm curious about. Then we're going to talk about Starfield. That when you do, at least let's bring back to Kingmaker. Kingmaker, you have a map. There's your map. And then you have different areas. You go into the area, you have a small area. This is the generated second layer map, I would say, where this is where you travel around. You could cast spells. You have your character walk around and stuff like that. And it's the size of the area can differ and everything. Now, my issue is with, let's say you have a planet. Are they going to say, hey, this is the unrealistic version, but the quickest option. You go into the planet, because of course you're going to have the galaxy and the space like that. You should be able to traverse from different galaxies, because I'm pretty sure this is a galactic, like intergalactic, not just interplanetary, like it's multiple galaxies. So you can travel between the galaxies. Now, if you go into a planet, there shouldn't be one single map. There should be like several layers. So it should be like I don't know, maybe, or it could just be one galaxy. Because I think Mass Effect all happens in the Milky Way galaxy, because it's like Milky Way galaxy is super big. I should say multi-solar system game. So you should have like the screen that shows multiple solar systems, and then go down where you have that specific solar system, and then you have the screen where you go into the different locations on the planet, and then in there you have those different maps that will be similar to Kingmaker, like different land masses. Because it wouldn't make sense, which I hopefully they won't do it, where you go into a planet and then you're on the planet, but you only get one area to go to when you click that planet. That would be really, really, I'm just gonna say, lame. So that's with Rogue Trader. It's looking nice. I'm okay. I will play it. I'm still on my, yes, I will get this to play it. It should be fun. Should be a nice game for the channel thing. Now we're going to talk about Starfield. Starfield is, how do I say it? Starfield has some big shoes to fill. A lot of hype. a lot of talk about this game, and it's really Todd's fault. It's his fault. Calling it Skyrim in space, it's his fault. I don't know why he's putting so much pressure on his child like that. I'm going to consider Starfield Todd's child. So let's see. I'm waiting to see. It comes out September. So hopefully it turns out well. Hopefully I'll be able to play without any extra things. Luckily I still have GeForce Now, so I could play it through there. But now I guess I could talk about GeForce Now. It's with GeForce Now, like the first video I recorded with GeForce Now went flawlessly. The internet was working. It was all good. The second episode, towards the end of the video, which was in the video, it basically cut off connection, disconnected. If I was playing anything else, it will be like luckily I was playing Age of Wonders 4, so it saved everything. Now I'm thinking that now that I look back on it, it's not like they closed out the game when it disconnected. Maybe the game was still on and it just reconnected when I started up, maybe, but I don't think that's the case. It might not be the case. Either way, it disconnected when I was trying to play. So that's not gonna fly when I'm playing an online game. And it's kind of crazy. What if I play an online game playing this from online? Will that like slow up the speed? Third playthrough, no problem. This latest video I recorded, towards the end there was like some choppiness, and I just don't like the idea of playing over the internet. That goes into a discussion about Wi-Fi 7. I don't know if it's Wi-Fi 7E or just Wi-Fi 7, because they unveiled that and there's talk about that the only big difference between it's not opening another band like Wi-Fi 6E did. It's just now it could use multiple bands at the same time, so it'll be able to take make better use of the bands that it has. So it should be faster. And now when someone says you get 1 gigabit speed or whatever, you will definitely get that speed. Unlike now they say okay, you can get up to and all that. Of course we have to test it out. So maybe when the Wi-Fi 7 routers and stuff like that come out, then NVIDIA GeForce Now will be good. But right now I have it, already paid for it, I got a deal, so now I'll be able to play Age of Wonders 4 on it and whatever I decide to play, so it's alright. But anyway, let's talk about Starfield.
I think the one thing people underestimate about video games is that people think it's just playtime. But I always say that the one thing video games can give you that nothing else.
I'm playing this on 1.25. Well, I was playing the other one on 1.25 speed. I'm going to play this on 1.25 speed, disable this. That's a little, oh, you don't have to worry about that, because really don't need it to go like super
entertainment can is that feeling of pride, right? Look what I did. And
Starfield
gameplay. You want to make
gameplay.
a game that is very big and is very long, you can play for all
Well,
these
not
years.
gameplay,
It's
just
all the paths you didn't take
B-roll.
that make it special to you. That you feel like when you finish that quest, that you feel that you accomplished something that week. And people who love video games can always say, like, you know, what'd you do?
I don't know if this is gonna be like the end game, because the graphics look good. Even original Skyrim graphics look good. Now I've seen the graphics, like what they do in mods. It just takes it to a whole new level. Mac can't play it yet, but eventually in the future, those graphics are gonna be like, of course, the cheap $100 computer can run those graphics. Then you're gonna have to get into virtual reality, and then you have to simulate senses. That's when I can't wait. Can't wait.
I saved the world.
Oh, you can watch all these. They have a playlist on their channel on Bethesda. This is called the Constellation playlist, and this is Into the Starfield, episode 1, The Endless Pursuit. So this will give us more information on like their approach. Oh, when we get to the part, because he mentioned something about Todd mentioned something about that he was very surprised that players played, like he used Skyrim as an example, as long as they have, and they're continuing to play it, which is something to consider when you're making your next game.
With such a tight group of people for so long, like we're all friends, it's like a second family in a way. We all sort of know or get what a Bethesda game is.
There's definitely this core group who's been
What
working
is a
together.
Bethesda game? That's the question. What is a Bethesda game? If you have an idea, leave it in the comments. If you're watching on the podcast, if they have comments, do that. Or if you're not able to leave a comment on the podcast, go to the YouTube version and leave the comment. Because what is a Bethesda game? A Bethesda game to me means, I started with Fallout New Vegas, and then you had Skyrim. So Bethesda game to me, if you're just looking at it, because instead of going into the emotional aspect, is like, it's a role-playing game, definitely. All of the Bethesda games I know about are role-playing games, or has role-playing elements. If you don't want to consider it a role-playing game, like if you want to consider Fallout, or Fallout 4, or Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, if you want to consider them first person slash, I don't think they have third person in Fallout. Well, I always play first person anyway. If you want to consider them a shooter, sure, but RPG. Player choice, yes, I will get that. In Skyrim, less so, because it's like, sure, you have player choice, but probably not even that much, because it's like, and for New Vegas was like, yeah, that's player choice. They really retrograded when it came to Skyrim, because Fallout New Vegas, you can be like, oh, I'll join Caesar's Legion, dun. I'll be the bad guys. I'll start killing people and killing people. Oh, I'll join the NCR. I'll fight the Caesar's Legion. I'll be good, dun. You can do that, or you can just nuke them both. I'm on my own path. You can do that in the late game too. Oh, yeah, let's not do an army of robots and stuff like that. That's bad. He's trying to take over the world. Or, okay, let me hack them. Now they're my robots. Now I start my own party. I'm a third party and all that stuff. Fallout New Vegas give you the option. Oh, he's a what is they call that things? Important NPC, essential NPCs. They have essential NPCs in Skyrim. Fallout New Vegas, like, oh, you think you're essential? You think you're necessary? You think you're a protagonist? No, dead. Game still goes on. The world still goes on. There's no plot armor in Fallout New Vegas. They have plot armor in Skyrim. All these trash. I don't want the plot armor. They don't need plot armor. If they die, they die. I'm the main character. I'm the only one who gets plot armor. So anyway, they kind of retrograded, and it really takes a while to choice. Like in Skyrim, sure, fight the Dark Brotherhood. You can choose it, or you can kill the Dark Not fight, kill. Okay. You can fight the Dark Brotherhood, or you can join them. Obviously, the game wants you to join the Dark Brotherhood, because that's why they put more effort and more quest into the joining the Dark Brotherhood thing. Now, that's the low-key version, reading between the lines, like they expect you to join the Dark Brotherhood because that's just more stuff to do, versus, hey, you're not joining the Dark Brotherhood. You want to destroy them. You're just not going to just walk up into their place. You're going to have to do some investigation. They could have fleshed out that other side some more, but they didn't do it. College of Winterhold. You could have cracked down, limited some more laws, but they just did their whole storyline. It's just one single storyline. Sure, you become leader of the College of Winterhold. Maybe you just went to the College of Winterhold to make sure they just didn't get too crazy. Maybe that option was there. Like, I don't see any other two options for the College of Winterhold quest line. The story mode for Alduin, pretty much cut and dry. You do all this stuff. There's really no player choice in there. You're just playing it out. Sure, you role playing. Same thing with Mirak. It's like Skyrim. I know Skyrim gets, like, it's a good game. It's a good game. I honestly believe that. But it's like, if you really take the time and look at it and compare it to like previous games, specifically Fallout New Vegas, because Fallout New Vegas is amazing with player choice. It's like It's less about player choice, more about telling a good story in a great world with great mechanics. So anyway, that's my ramble on Bethesda games.
For decades and knows how to make a BGS game. And then there's this, new generation of game developers who are coming in and working at BGS who grew up on those games those people made. For some people, those are the games that got them to go into the industry in the first place. And what I love about that is those people come in and they love the worlds too, and they want to stay true to those worlds that they grew up on. And so we're still able to maintain what a BGS game is, but continue to evolve.
I think we underestimate how long people are going to play it. You look at Skyrim, we're sitting here 10 years later, and it keeps having this life, and it changes how you want to create something.
Yeah, I feel like our games sort of have two lives, right? Like, we create...
I want to... this is... I'm going to translate for you guys. He said, it keeps having this life. That's the flowery version. That's the front speak. Let me speak to you on the real talk, the corporate talk, let's say. He's basically saying, oh, it keeps making me money, so let's keep on working. We don't have to bring out Starfield yet. We don't have to bring out Elder Scrolls 6 yet, because this game is still making us money. Let's come out with Anniversary Edition. Let's do Creation Club content. Let's put AI in it too and still make money. They haven't did the AI thing yet. There are like people who are not affiliated with this and modders and stuff who is playing with that, but it's like, come on now. I hear what they're saying. Do you guys hear what they're saying?
This game, and we put everything we can possibly put into it, tell the stories we want to tell, and build this world that's sort of a setup that when we hand it off to them,
why is this
play it,
what graphics are they using? I don't remember that the graphics looking that good in original Skyrim. It's probably Anniversary Edition Skyrim.
Then they take it and make it their own. They tell their own stories, and then they make their own stories with our tools.
I think it's the hallmark of our games that, you play it and...
What is that? Why is there an insect-like creature? I don't remember that either.
It's going to be different than yours. I'm going to come in and tell you a funny story about something that happened to me. You may never have seen that because just a confluence of events. And I think that helps with the longevity and it helps with that feeling.
I'm trying to figure out, are they getting this game confused with what? I haven't played Valhalla yet, but are they getting this game confused with Crusader Kings? Because I'm playing Crusader Kings 3. Actually, it's Crusader Kings 3, but with the Elder Kings 2 mod. So basically, I'm in the Elder Scrolls world because I love the Elder Scrolls world so much. It's like that's replayability right there. Because like I tried when there was the issues with the update and stuff like that, like trying to get back to the same point so I can record the video. But the issue with that is that it's like the entire story just went different. I'm in the same starting location, same person, same everything, but it's like it just depends. It's like conditions change, people change. It's just the way the world works. But anyway, this one, I don't know what they're playing. I do Skyrim. I'm pretty much having the same experience as everyone else. What's the difference? Like my play style. It's not like I don't understand what she's talking about.
Community in a lot of ways.
It is a world that you get transported to that you can really make your own, and that's where...
Lies. I can't kill whoever I want to kill. I'm sorry. I've loved the game, but you got like... I think you're using buzzwords. We'll see if they fix that in Starfield. And if they don't, I'm going to be the first one to say it.
To do it for 2 decades and close to that for so much of our group, there's a big trust there that we know how we solve certain things together. We were doing Morrowind and looking at what we might do after that and beyond that. And we had a list of what are the other types of worlds we want to go to. And obviously Fallout was at the top of the list. If we could do that, and that, magically, luckily came true for us. And right behind that was, science fiction. Going to space, I think there's a magic in just defying gravity and taking off from a planet. Like it's an extremely difficult human endeavor.
Yeah, a lot of our games are about exploration, and that's sort of like, that's the ultimate exploration, is what's out there, what's past Earth. Right?
I will give them that.
It's incredibly exciting for us to work on something like that.
Finally, they tell the truth.
Every time we come to a game, we're starting fresh. We're saying, okay, we just did that one. That's over. How do we make it better in every way? It's got a more realistic, science-based backing to it, whereas Skyrim is sort of an epic fantasy. This is a more grounded, game.
Epic fantasy. I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't. When I think of Skyrim, I think fantasy, epic fantasy. When someone say epic fantasy, we're thinking traditional epics would be Iliad and Odyssey. I'm not like an English professor, so I don't know what defines an epic versus something. Is it like a long tale or something like that? Skyrim, the story mode, just the main mission is really not like long like that. An epic story, or not like traversing you are traversing worlds, going to different. In Alduin, are you going to the Soul Cairn? Because I know you go to Soul Cairn in the Dawnguard DLC. Oh, you do go to Solstheim, the Battle of Alduin, and the final battle. That might be an epic. But in Fallout, I don't. Fallout 4, there's no epic. Oh, they're talking about. Never mind. They talked about Skyrim. Skyrim being the epic. They're not. Anyway, let's play.
In a grounded setting.
We'll give them it. We'll give them epic.
Gives us a different take on how we make everything. So that's sort of the thing you latch onto when we're making new areas, making environments, making characters.
The mechanics of the world are entirely different, but there are similarities. And I think those are things we like. Like we like playing first person. We like having all the content.
Yes, I do.
We like being able to touch everything. Those moments.
That might sound bad. But I'm gonna agree with them. I'm gonna say yes. We do enjoy touching everything, in a positive way. I did see a video. This guy was crazy. I saw a video of a guy playing Skyrim in VR, and like he was hovering over, like the video title was "They should not have made this game in VR." And then the opening scene, he's hovering over a sleeping woman, and then he has one hand going, and the hand looks good. So close to touching her. When I say that, I mean her face. It's not that wild. And then he used the other hand, pulled that hand back, and then he just laughing. That was so crazy. Like I don't have any VR rigs because I'm waiting until it like gets to. I first heard of VR in Sword Art Online. So unless there's a nerve gear or it's like a full dive MMORPG, I don't see myself using VR. Or if I go someplace and they just have VR there and ready, I might try it out. But it's like, nah, it's not Sword Art Online.
Make the whole thing believable. Being able to watch the sunset and nighttime come and just sit there and watch the world go by seems like it's not gameplay, but it is vital to how you feel through the rest of it.
I also think that because it's based in a more realistic atmosphere, is like you have a lot of people on our team who are super into certain things like robotics or engineering, and they can use this lifetime of knowledge they have gathered and then use it in their work.
Everyone comes from these different areas and brings stuff to the game that can make it in, and it all matters. From the rocks to the clutter to what the spacesuits look like. It's based on people's experience and sort of learning about how things work in the world and trying to apply it in a way that's believable for this universe.
Yeah, it starts feeling so real to us. Like you're saying, we do all that stuff, but then concepting like everything they eat, or the toys the children play with, or what are their bedtime stories? What is their art? What is their history? What is their entertainment? It is a universe, not just a game.
There has to be
that is true.
trigger that occurs.
I will give them that. Elder Scrolls is a universe. Skyrim is technically in the same universe of the Elder Scrolls. I was gonna say Skyrim is its own universe, but nah. Skyrim, Tamriel is part of Tamriel, all this stuff. So yeah, Elder Scrolls only Fallout universe. These are good universes. They make great worlds. I agree with it.
And I think as time has gone on, we're able to paint an even better picture that triggers that emotional thing.
You always have that step out moment into the world, so to say. Technology's changed, we've all changed. So
technology has definitely
changed.
changed.
Up a game, like, okay, I'm gonna step out, there's gonna be this moment. Us being able to do that and have it feel new every generation, every game, is something that is really special about what we do. I like to say that Starfield has 2 step out moments.
We'll see. Let's find out.
Our process of
He's talking up this game up a lot. So it better live up to the hype. Like sometimes, like it's like you really can't help it if like the players hype it up. Oh, it's a Skyrim 2, and then you don't say anything else about it. We just call it Skyrim 2. That's just an example. Essentially Starfield, Skyrim in space, Skyrim 2, maybe you can call it that. But now Todd is saying Starfield, Skyrim in space. So that's one hype up moment. He did that. He did that right there. And now Todd says now it has 2 step out moments, not just one. Hyping it up some more. This game must be their best game yet.
That is very, very rewarding. And coming to Starfield, everybody's starting over and saying, what would you want to do? What does going to space mean to you? And everybody comes back to the same one.
What?
I want to see what's out there.
We'll see. So your journey today. He's saying some good things. He makes me want to play it. I want to play it. I know, I'm gonna play Skyrim too. Eventually. We have other things to get caught up on. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'll let you know next episode how it goes with the whole Kingmaker debacle, if things change. If not, I'm just going to have to enjoy the story and just do a what if saga. Not a what if. Like Vonnie is still going to appear in different worlds. We'll just write that into his story. This is just an initial story since I'm stuck like telling his story within the confines of a video game until I like take him outside the game. I don't know why. I just like pressing buttons and get distracted. But anyway, thanks for watching.